What's up, YouTube Revolution? ZombfectedGaming 349 at your fingertips. I'm going to be taking a break from posting my usual content like gaming and shift my focus more on my favorite TV series of all time called The Walking Dead. As of recently, I've actually been doing my Walking Dead marathon again, because I haven't done that in a very long time. I watched all the way up until season 5. I'm almost finished season 5, and I'm going to go all the way up until season 10 again, and I'm going to just go all the way through with it. Yep, so, awesome part is, The Walking Dead isn't just a TV show. It's a complete cinematic universe that's a very much open world. It's expanding into a trilogy of movies, which shows you that this series is extremely massive, and I can't wait to see the movies. But let's get on with our topic. The Walking Dead has had its fair share of villains, like the obvious one, the Walkers, also known as the zombies, but also the bigger threat, the humans on the show, and with the Walkers as a background element that has inherited the Earth with its dangers in human fighting, which really makes human wars much more difficult than a normal non-zombie apocalyptic like war in, let's say, World War II. I'm throwing in World War II because in the Walking Dead universe, the closest worst case scenario to the apocalypse the world is in is definitely World War II. That is definitely the last biggest thing that happened for sure before the apocalypse, the worst case for sure. With over, I think it was 50 million killed worldwide, and obviously the Walker apocalypse has definitely topped World War II, because around the time of 2010 is the year the apocalypse starts, and that's the modern day compared to the 1940s and World War II. The population of the world was definitely way less compared to the now modern days. According to Robert Kirkman, the creator to the Walking Dead comic, most of Earth's population is now Walker infested, but that doesn't mean there's not many humans on the planet. Our planet has billions upon billions, so there is a good chance there are still a good millions of people around the planet, judging by how big our planet is. But most, of course, since The Walking Dead is mostly set in United States of America, I doubt there is at least 1 million people left. But let's not talk population no more. But then again, also, at the same time, this is a question I would like to ask you Walking Dead fans. What is worse, and what would you prefer to live in as a survival situation? Living in the 1940s with World War II and knowing how bad the German Nazis are and how they wanted to conquer parts of the world and how brutally vicious this army is, and it's a brutal long war lasting 6 years, or living in the Walking Dead apocalypse knowing that there is no cure to this Walker disease and knowing that you get bitten you will turn no matter what. So what's worse to you, Nazis or Walkers? I'm comparing World War II to the Walker apocalypse because World War II was mankind's worst battle and closest to a human extinction event due to how many humans died in that war. So, yeah. That's why the Walker apocalypse in the Walking Dead universe is the closest thing to what World War II was. Also, a fun fact, back in season 5 of The Walking Dead, Rick Grimes told his group about how when he was a kid, he would ask how many Germans his grandfather killed in World War II, and of how his grandfather said he pretended he was dead when he was in enemy territory. While fighting symbolizing the brutal nature of the world situation you're living in, you either come out alive or dead when the stakes are at an all-time high. This mirrors the same situation Rick is going through in the apocalypse with the Walkers and many oncoming threats who are on the horizon. For Rick, just like his grandfather, So yeah, same situation of survival, but vastly different scenarios, since Nazis and walkers are very different enemies. The thing is, walkers don't think or speak, they eat humans and any other kinds of meat. But whereas the Nazis, they got all kinds of tech like blitzkrieg tactics with Stuka dive bombers and Panzer tanks. But that only lasted for 6 years total. The Walker apocalypse has lasted for over 10 years. Now since the current timeline on The Walking Dead is over 10 years, of course. This shows you the Walker apocalypse has surpassed World War II, but vastly different with World War II, having much more large-scale battles with bombings every day and everywhere. But let's get to the main topic of this video now. Predator animals on The Walking Dead don't seem to show up as much like bears, wolves, mountain lions. We need more dangers like this because we see our groups out in the wilderness a lot, and we see mostly preys either killed by Daryl or devoured by a walker. But we have seen some predator animals on The Walking Dead. We have Daryl's dog on the show, and it's tough as nails. We've seen how dog can take down walkers. We've also seen King Ezekiel's tiger Shiva, which was, of course, a CGI tiger, not real. But it's still pretty awesome to see a tiger in The Walking Dead. I remember at one point in Season 5 of The Walking Dead, Rick and our survivors were out on the road, sitting and having a break from all the walking, and suddenly these wild dogs show up. These wild dogs were about to attack the group, but Sasha quickly puts the dogs down super fast just before they were even gonna attack. Sucks to see how these dogs died and lacked the threat they were going to be in that moment. But Sasha did the right thing because dogs are faster than walkers. Also, baby Judith was in there, and what if she got attacked by these dogs? But I also remember another time in the Walking Dead universe where it had dogs attacking. It was in the Sisters show, Fear the Walking Dead, in Season 2, where Nicholas Clark was walking down a highway into Mexico, and he was ambushed by a pack of dogs. And actually, I think I remember, but they bit him, and they were ferocious dogs. This shows you dogs can be sometimes, or any wild animal that is a predator can be definitely more dangerous than walkers themselves. They would definitely have stronger and sharper teeth that isn't rotting and falling apart. Good news is, the bite won't make you turn. Maybe unless the dog has a bad sickness like rabies or some sort of dangerous infection and needs to be treated quickly with antibiotics. But we all know medical items in this world can be very scarce at times. If the Walking Dead universe ever wants to bring out the extreme dangers of animals like how they did with the walkers with the Whisperers, they should at one point in any Walking Dead show, doesn't have to be the main show since it's ending in Season 11, 2022, we should see a native tribal group or a former zookeepers group before the apocalypse be the big massive tribe. Be this big massive tribe, that's what I was trying to say. All types of dangerous animals like bears, alligators, snakes, tigers, like any dangerous animal that we would see in the United States. I'm talking animals in the United States, of course, only wild animals that we'd see in the United States. These dangerous animals could give us all extra potential to seeing many different walker kills by wild animals, and that is something very creative for the series. Does anybody remember Taka from Season 3 of Fear the Walking Dead, the native guy who was the leader of this native group? What if he came back and was the leader of a tribe and a bunch of zookeepers? and he started all this rallying every dangerous animal. This would totally bring out the dangers in animals, and it's well needed in this universe because not every animal is gonna get mauled to death by a walker due to how slow a walker is compared to a well alive and well brain functioning predatory animal. Just imagine being bitten by a snake, knowing it's one of the snakes that bite and you need hospital treatment ASAP or you will die. Now, that's one way an animal can make you turn walker from bites just like a rabid dog. A tribe like this that are native and zookeepers, I would call them like primal or something. Them adopting the style of the caveman in the Stone Age, and also fighting like ferocious natives from the Wild West era. Also would bring out a threat very creative since the Whisper arc on the main show. Maybe sometime in the future, however long Fear the Walking Dead can go, maybe they can pull off a storyline like this. I also remember back in season 4 of Fear the Walking Dead, John Dory and Victor Strand were trapped on a small canoe and there was an alligator in the water, and it definitely was scarier than a walker floating in the water. This is why animals should totally become more of a threat in this universe, in a tribal group bringing out the dangers in animals much more. Anyways, I'm gonna get back to my Walking Dead marathon, and ZombfectedGaming 349 out.